Cameras all good, yeah? Charlie, yeah? All good? Rory, over to you, mate.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win, Ben. How pleased are you with the team has responded to the a heavy and a quick defeat at Lords with something quite similar in the opposite direction?
Yeah, amazing team performance all round. The way in which we obviously bounced back from the disappointment from Lords last week to put in that performance was obviously very pleasing. But I think cricket's about how you bat, bowl and field, and I think the way that we batted, bowled and field this whole game was almost like the benchmark of the standards and everything that we set. Just the energy throughout the whole week, when we're out in the field and stuff like that. Even, when Rassie and Keegan were in that partnership where it looked like sort of they were, able to counteract anything that we threw at them. But the energies and everything that the bowlers were running in with and the energies in the field and everything like that was top draw.
And it's obviously it's not lost on anyone that it was you who got both of those guys who were set out in that spell, that long spell. How pleased were you with your own efforts to sort of turn them to put in one of those big shifts for the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's something, obviously, it's reverse swung here, throughout the whole test. Well, except for our first innings when we bowled, just because of sort of the wet outfield and stuff like that. But it's something that I asked Ruti to keep speaking to me about whenever he felt like the ball was, starting to look like it was going to reverse. So it was actually sort of by fluke, really, because I bowled 2 bounces in the over, and then because Keegan's quite small, he won't mind me saying that, I'm good mates with him. I had to sort of feel like to pitch it up, and it actually started to swing in the air. So that's when we sort of changed the plans, because I've always felt that when the ball starts reverse swinging, I sort of, that's when I feel like I'm at my best with the ball. And then I had to think about when the new ball's around the corner, and I didn't want to have to look to turn to Jimmy or Robert before that, because throughout the whole test it's obviously been a new ball wicket, and that looks to be the most threatening thing. So that's why I wanted to, felt like I bowled that long spell, and I felt in good rhythm and everything like that, so that's why I continued to bowl.
And you made one change for this game, bringing Ollie in. Just, I guess, a word on how pleased you with he's got his feet back under the table now, and you chose to give him the new ball ahead of Stuart as well, and it's kind of worked out for the team nicely.
Yeah, something I actually spoke to Brody about on the way back from golf in the car, actually, about potentially giving Robbo the new ball, just because of the feedback we got from the Lions game. The feedback we got is that with the new ball, especially SJ at the top, sort of struggled against him, so that was the reasoning behind that. Obviously I mentioned how well Potsy took the news about missing out this game, and it's exactly the same with Brody. For obviously Jimmy and Brody for years have taken the new ball, and for Brody to understand the bigger picture about why I wanted that to be the option was, obviously an absolute credit to him, and he understood the bigger picture again, like Potsy did. So yeah, Robbo's came into this game, showed his class, but he's also, taken the criticism that he received and almost flipped that around, because obviously we know how good of a bowler he is, but the question marks around his fitness and being able to maintain, his energies and pace and everything, he's completely sort of thrown that away now. Because in private we obviously had some conversations, and he's gone away, worked incredibly hard to get himself back here. And I almost see this as a new start for Ollie Robinson, because he's a phenomenally skillful bowler, but this game he showed that he can back things up, and we can throw the ball to him whenever, and we know we're going to get exactly the same third, fourth spells than we see in his first spell.
Go Mel, George, Stefan, and then Dean.
Ben, just a bit further on that period when you took those wickets. I mean, for our spectators, there are often those periods in Test cricket where it seems like there's not much doing, there's not many runs being scored, everything's softening up a bit, and you start counting down those overs to that new ball. Just wondering how you sort of feel in that period. Are you always trying to make something happen? Are you sitting back realising that maybe it won't? And just how generally do you approach those periods?
No, I think, obviously, just to go on again about that, think about the new ball, obviously Stuart came on for a quick burst when, for 3 overs, I think. And, in the back of my mind, I obviously wanted to keep him fresh as well, in case Jimmy or Brody Jimmy or Robbo didn't have the impact with the new ball I would like, because I always wanted to have him in my back pocket. But I sensed that obviously how well Leachy bowled, that I thought with the way that the ball was behaving, that if I could get Brody a 3-over spell here with me and him going at either end, we could really blow them open. But the way that it worked out couldn't have been any more perfect. I think we took 5 wickets, was it, in 4 overs with the new ball. So yeah, it played out well. But when you're bowling with the older ball, when nothing's really sort of happening, you sort of have to try and create your own energies and sort of your own theatre around that. And it's something that I've done over my career with the sort of older ball, is just to try and run in and hit the wicket as hard as I can and try and make something out of nothing. And then let the new ball bowlers take the rewards at the end.
George?
Cheers. Well played. A couple of things, if that's all right. Firstly, could be overlooked, so I guess the more eye-catching performances, but Zach Crawley played a really big part in this, didn't he? And leading on from that, he seemed to bat a bit differently, as did you, maybe. I don't know, I wouldn't want to read too much into that. But is that unique to the situation of this game, this surface, or is that something that's sort of evolved from the way we've been playing the last few months?
Yeah, I think what we did incredibly well with the bat this game is we assessed that it was a wicket that sort of we didn't feel that we could go out and play in the way that we spoke about, which I think is a real progress for the side. It didn't feel like a wicket that you could stand there and hit through the line because of the invariable bounce that it was offering. Some balls were going through, bouncing, but then some of the balls were skidding through but still coming at good pace. But in terms of our mindset and our intent, it was always to look to be positive, to get on the front foot and always look to score first. And I think that made our decision making a lot better. And Zach really set that game up for me and Folksy to be able to play in the way that we did, and it certainly shouldn't be overlooked because he absorbed the pressure, but in what I thought was a real positive manner. He always looked to score whenever that scoring opportunity presented itself, but his decision making around leaving and playing at the reverse swinging ball, which is obviously very, very hard to do as a batter, I thought was top class. Going on to Folksy again, a match-defining 100 from him, batting at number 7, but then also his wicket keeping. He took 7 dismissals, but away from that, his keeping's just ridiculous, to be honest. He's the best in the world. Like, he makes things look so easy, and he almost stops things that you shouldn't really be stopping, let alone catching. He's amazing to have behind the stumps. He gives the bowlers a lot of confidence, and it obviously gives me as a captain a lot of confidence knowing that pretty much every nick he's going to catch.
Stefan, Dean and David?
Hi Ben. Obviously what you achieved at the start of the summer was pretty spectacular, but given the way the 2 bowling performances on day 1 and 3 came in 2 very different sets of conditions, and how you batted yesterday in some pretty trying circumstances, was this actually the best performance of the summer so far?
I think in terms of, I think when you take the last game into consideration, the way that we managed to come back and play and just completely forget about that and then put the performance in that we have done, could say yes. But look, a win's a win. You take them as they come. But I just think overall the most pleasing thing for me as a captain and trying to keep delivering these positive messages and going out there and always trying to look at the positive way of playing, whether that be with bat or ball, is that we're still committing to everything that we speak about in the dressing room. No one's took a backward step this week whatsoever, and obviously coming away with a win in the way that we did, getting South Africa winning the toss and batting, we were obviously under pressure to go out there and bowl well in those very good bowling conditions, and the way that we bowled in the first session, taking 5 wickets, I think we all realised that the hard work that we put in there really helped us bowl them out for 140, was it 150? Because you've seen the pitch change when we came to bat, that if we hadn't bowled as well as we did, we could have been looking at South Africa going to put on 400 like we did. So we just managed to step up to the plate at every opportunity this game when we knew that we had to, and obviously when you got 260 runs ahead coming into bowl, the game was massively in our favour. So yeah, just very, very pleased with the performance.
Dino?
And I just wondered whether you felt more confidence in your captaincy now in the way that you're able to operate now that you managed to put in such an all-round performance, bat, ball, tactically, the way you marshal things, it helps
No, I think when it comes to, for me personally, when it comes to captaincy, I feel as that I'm always going to, sort of look at the positive side of whatever decisions I make. I mean, obviously, it's when it comes to me with the battle ball, I try to take that side away from it, if that makes sense, and always know that and the style that I play is going to hopefully influence the game in a positive way. I know when I bat well and I bowl well, that it goes a long way towards the team winning. So I guess for me, it's about taking that pressure of the captaincy off whenever I've got responsibility with the battle ball in my hand, and then when it comes to making, any decisions out on the field, which obviously is a bigger thing when you're bowling. It's just still the same messages for me. It's about how do we take 10 wickets and not concentrate too much on the scoreboard.
With Jimmy, you've spoken about his longevity. Obviously, he's averaging 16 as a 40-year-old in Test cricket. He's just taken 950 international wicket, which is another record. Just a word on those sort of numbers.
Yeah, like he's been the man for Joe and myself to turn to, at the start of a day, the start of an innings, start of a session to come in and make the impact with the ball. Because whether it's with the old ball or the new ball, you know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get a man who runs in and just gives the batter absolutely nothing, and who's absolutely relentless with everything that he does. I said before this game started that I honestly just can't see when he's going to stop. You can see him just enjoying every moment he's out there. I honestly can't say like whenever he's going to stop, because he is 40, but he doesn't act like a 40-year-old. He's been amazing around the dressing room. The energy that he runs in and bowls with still is just incredible, and he's just a testament to himself and a great ambassador for the game, especially for fast bowlers.
Last one, Dave.
And just how exciting now is this decider? I mean, you talked about wanting to entertain the crowd and be entertainers, and you could win the series now in the last test of the summer. How much excitement will that give the team, and how much confidence do you have going into that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the great thing I like about the odd numbered series, if that makes sense, is that if there's a result in every game, there's going to be a winner of the series. So, obviously now it's 1-1 going into the last game of the summer. It's very exciting to head to the Oval knowing that both teams have got everything to play for. We're obviously going to take a lot of confidence in this game, knowing that we've won it, but we know that South Africa are going to come and throw everything at us. We've played a lot of series against them in the past, and we know they don't throw the towel in whatsoever. Even there, Rassi with the broken finger, got to give him a lot of credit for the way that he battled on. I admire that in players, and just that partnership as well. You could see that they just didn't want to give up. Their lower order as well. They were determined to stay in as long as they possibly could, and they never felt like they were out of it. So we know what we've got. A tough opposition to come and beat at the Oval, but we're obviously going to take a lot of confidence in this game.
Is it nice to have a break now, or would you?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers,
Thanks,
Ben.
guys. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
Can I get 3 or 4 to